Deegan just finished practice. How are you feeling?
Yeah, really good. Obviously, we got away last week. Had a bit of a recovery day on the Sunday and Monday, but we've had a really good 2 field sessions. And this morning it was quite clinical, and boys really putting up their hand and ready for this semi final.
From last time you played Brisbane City, what have you learnt? What are you bringing into this weekend?
Yeah, so we only played them 2 weeks ago, I think it is now. Obviously here as well. They came home with a wet sail, that's for sure. I think they scored 3 unanswered tries maybe in that last 10-15. So again, they're a team that loves to attack, as do we. So I guess it could be interesting. Come finals time, I guess defence could decide who wins this game. But hopefully it'll be quite a good day in terms of weather, so there'll be a lot of attacking footy played.
And is that something you're focusing on, the defence?
Oh, always. I think, as cliche it is, the team that scores the most points win, but also the team that stops the most points can win. So I think that's always the underlining theme and tone of our team. But again, we're just looking to tick a few boxes throughout the week in our training week, and we've done that so far. And just another little session tomorrow, and we should be good to go.
And how have you found being captain and running out and doing that?
Yeah, it's a bit of an interesting one. I've got some really good leaders around me. Obviously, Heath Testman and Jeremy Thrush bring a lot of experience with rugby and their age, I guess. But again, Ian Pryor's always in the back of your ear chirping a few times, which is nice to have. But I don't really look at it too differently. Most of the blokes are used to hearing me yell at them, so it's nothing too different at the moment. But I'm enjoying it. I am. It's a learning experience for me, and I'm really relishing the opportunity to captain this side.
Mate, key word you used there was clinical.
Yeah,
that's what you're going to have to be. That's what you're going to have to be against these guys. I mean, you had the chance to really blow that game out when you played them last time. Just let them back in, didn't you?
Yeah, definitely. I think clinical's a good word to use. I think it's not clinical for 20 minutes of the game or 40 minutes of the game. It's probably clinical for that full 80, and then even if you want to say 90 minutes of the game. And we've got that. I think we've got that with our reserves that come on. They bring a lot of experience that we have on the bench, and also a lot of energy. So it's just probably that middle bit of that second half where over the last few weeks we've probably just slipped off a little bit. So that's been a bit of a focus area for us, but we've made amends to that, and looking forward to what we can do in that second half as well.
Because again, albeit you were down to 13 players, you'd let a few tries in, or let a bit of a couple of scores in last week. It just seemed the last 2 weeks, is it something you've addressed?
Oh, definitely. I think both the last 2 weeks we've finished short of men. I think against Brisbane City we finished with 13 men with an injury and a yellow card, and then similar to Sydney on the weekend finished with 13. But we have addressed that. It's obviously a bit of discipline issues there. But again, I think the confidence in the team to potentially finish with 13 men and still believe in one another is key. But again, ideally, we'd like to finish with 15 on the pitch.
Would help, wouldn't it? But you seem to have slipped in seamlessly, with the halves pairing. Some of you've been obviously working on training. How have you found it?
Yeah, with Isaac coming in. Yeah, definitely. He played a lot of footy at the start of the year when Ian was injured, and actually myself was a bit injured. But I don't know. We've got a bit of a thing going on that works quite well. I've played quite a fair bit of footy with him. I played a bit growing up and the underage stuff as well with him. So he's always been around, and he's a good player. And when he gets his hands on the ball, he really looks to light it up.
Different style of play to Ian. I guess he runs a lot more, doesn't he? Snipes a bit more.
Yeah, they each bring their own to the game, and I think both times that either one of them have been on, we've really adapted our game plan quite well to that. And again, Rory O'Sullivan coming off the bench, he brings a lot of energy as well. We actually unfortunately had to chuck him on the wing last week, but he was out there making more tackles than any of us. So again, it's that energy off the bench that we really look forward to, and in that second half when we need to rely on our finishers, they usually bring it for us.
And you mentioned Ian chirping in your ear. How's he been since he's been on the sideline?
No, he's been good. His surgery went well, which is obviously key. So I think it's only 4 or 6 weeks kind of on the sidelines, but unfortunately that time of the season he misses out on a few games. But he is that leader that a lot of us, I guess, look up to, and he's really been the rock of the force probably over these last 2 years for us. And I know the Sea of Blue respect him highly, and he's he's done a lot of work behind the scenes, and he's done a lot of, I guess, previewing and reviewing for us while we've been travelling. So it makes it handy getting another player's perspective and another eyes on our rugby, I guess.
Tim, you've just announced the team. Can you talk us through a little bit about that?
Yeah, we're pretty happy this week that we can go with the same run on 15. It's something we haven't had the luxury of through the middle of the tournament for different reasons, but yeah, you need that continuity obviously going into a final, and there's a little bit of movement on the bench as well up front, and just rewarding guys, I suppose. So yeah, it's a good 23, but look, we've had a good training week with the full squad, which is great.
And you've just come off the field, and how are the boys feeling?
Yeah, there's a bit of energy there, but you've got to contain that, and it was a sharp session, our execution day today, so we nailed what we needed to do, and we'll just roll in tomorrow for our last session of the week.
Just, I think, the one change in the starting 15 in the centres?
Yeah, so Justy's back from that little niggle, yeah, so he adds a bit of composure there, but Chris Tuatara Morrison's done a great job for us, high involvements from attacking side of things, and it's good to have that old head, but Justy's had a really good year as well, so we've got the luxury there of two really good inside centres. And good to have him off the bench. Yeah, that's right, and our bench has been superb for us, so we're hoping that again from Chris, but I'm sure, like I said, that composure coming on in the second half is really important.
Mate, we spoke about being clinical earlier, and it's got to be a key word for this one. 2 weeks ago, you said you were on the verge of blowing the game open. Just let them back into it, didn't you? And just got away with the 2 points. Yeah, well, that's right. And I think since that little hiccup a few weeks ago in Port Macquarie, that we stressed the importance about gaining momentum again, leading into this fixture, being a semi final. And last weekend we were pretty clinical for the most part of that, and even down to 13 at the end of the game there, we still managed to get a couple of late tries, which is a good sign. Coming back to earlier, having the same side week in, week out now, especially heading into finals, must be important for you. It is. Yeah, combinations are important, and you benefit in all areas of the game through your set piece, your attack, defence, everywhere. So yeah, it's we're lucky that we go pretty much with the same 23 as last week. And looking at their side, a couple of strengths, I say, looking at their front row and also out wide, they've got some class out there. Yeah, with a lot of experience again, which is important, and looking at their back line, they're pretty sharp and quick. They've got a very dangerous back three in Naivalu, Hegarty and Jordan. So look, it's as much as you focus on what we do during the week, which is important, you've got to look at their strengths, and they do have strengths right through their team, and that's why they're in the finals, and they've been playing a very good footy. Mate, just one thing. Have you trained your 13 players this week, just in case? Yeah, we have done a bit of scenario training this week on Tuesday and again today. So just throwing different things at the guys and addressed some certain areas of the game when that happens. So it's we had to address it.